Is there a cover? Dude, $5 is a lot of money. I could buy like a box of cereal with that or something like that. I mean, it's not like they put in any effort making those songs. What, you strum some chords. I mean, seriously, why is there a cover? Hey everybody, welcome to Is There a Cover, your podcast about songwriting. Here we talk about singing stories and living songs in the words of the great Kent Finley. Today's a pretty strange day because I found out this morning that Guy Clark has passed away. For those of you who don't know about Guy Clark, he's one of the most renowned Texas songwriters to come out of the Austin area in quite some time, if ever. He hung out with Towns and is well known in that regard, and he's written some of the best songs that I probably ever heard. The likes of which include Desperado's Waiting on a Train, Dublin Blues, The Cape, Stuff That Works. And I feel fortunate at this point that I can say that I had the chance to see him. It was about 2012. I saw him with my friends Pat and Tom, and I didn't know his music very well at the time. I more or less just went because they told me, hey, you need to know who this guy is, and he might not be around too much longer. And it was right after his wife Susanna had passed, and it was still before his newest record, My Favorite Pictures of You, came out. So it was in this awkward phase where no one really knew what he was going to do and how he was going to handle the loss of his wife, who he was very close to, and he talks about quite a bit in different documentaries that have been shot about, in particular one about Towns, Be Here to Love Me. Be Here to Love Me, that's the name. Yes. And that show, there were so many songs that just floored me. But at the same time, it was strange, and I wish I could have seen him in his prime, because at the time he would stop to cough. He would repeat lyrics and things, and so I think he's been ready to go for a little while. But in that show, he played this song called The Cape, which I had never heard before, and it felt right to start off today's show by just quoting a little bit from that, because I think it fits. A little send-off for him. So this is from the song The Cape, and it's a song all about a boy who is tying a cape to himself and trying to fly off his garage, and it's about how this boy gets older. And it's about how people can dream in the way that if you allow yourself to really pursue those and think that you can do things, you can go very far in life. And it's beautifully written. I highly recommend everyone listens to it. If I could play it here, I would, but copyright law won't allow. So I'm going to read you the last verse. So now he's old and gray with a flour sack cape tied all around his head, and he's still jumping off the garage and will be till he's dead. All these years the people said he was acting like a kid. He did not know he could not fly, and so he did. Well, he's one of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. There are a lot of sentiments that people can take away from Guy Clark's career, and I think if you just get that one, you're doing pretty great. You know, to always trust your cape, and you always need to try to get what you want. Try to fly. In the words of his good friend Towns, to live is to fly in some ways, or at the very least living in the way that those guys did, and that I'm sure they would want all of us to live. That's the only way to really go. And so I'm sitting here now with a cup of coffee, a beer, and some Topo Chico, and I am raising them all to Guy Clark, who I'm sure by now, or at least I hope, is drinking a Mad Dog margarita with Susanna in town somewhere out there, So for all of you who Guy Clark meant something to you, or all of you who haven't heard him, I'd encourage you to check him out. He was a huge influence for me and for many of the people that I revere. So I would definitely recommend checking him out. So let's all raise our glasses to Guy Clark. You're one of the great ones, buddy, and we will certainly miss you. Today on the show, we have my dear friend Miggy Milla, who has a new EP that's coming out after a slightly delayed production, about 3 years worth of production. We have some exclusive content. He did 2 live performances of songs from the EP, and we're going to play both of those. If you have any questions about this episode, feel free to send me an email at isthereacoverpodcast@gmail.com, or if you'd like to be on the show, feel free to send me an email as well. Without further ado, here's a song, Pretty Stranger, by Miggy Milla.
She walked into the room nonchalantly, gentle, delicate, yet daunting. But from the looks of her body, she's obviously a danger to me. You are the kind that I am easily infatuated, the familiar face that I see frequently. I have tried to speak, but the words, they all seem to disagree with me. Is there a chance that you would dance with me tonight? Despite the fact that I don't dance so well, is that fine? Well, you don't know me, I'm doing to me, bodily so dangerously sweet. The pretty stranger that I'd like to meet. Seldom do I act this way, you make me swoon with every action. The subject to need to know you is I do to your temptation and attraction. You are the muse, I will use, when abused, to confuse. I'm just amused by you. Care to share your story? Maybe an intimate friend is what you need. Is there a chance that you would dance with me tonight? Despite the fact that I don't dance so well, is that fine? Well, you don't know what you've been doing to me, bodily so dangerously sweet. The pretty stranger that I love to meet, like a moth to the flame. These eyes of mine just can't be tamed. I'm loving every single way you move and be. And though it's clear to see that you are also feeling me. Someday, Sunday, do 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 do. Despite the fact that I don't dance so well, is that fine? Well, you don't know what you've been doing to me, bodily so dangerously sweet. The pretty stranger that I love to meet.
Today I have a guest, Miggy Milla. He's a good friend of mine. He has an album coming out pretty soon, an EP coming out. When?
May 18th.
May 18th. He also plays with Ruby Jane. I believe he is one of the Reckless. Is that correct?
Ruby and the Reckless. That is right.
Oh, yeah? That's awesome. So how are things going with you musically in general? You sound like you're a pretty busy guy. I think you got to go mix some stuff later tonight.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, that's just like, that rarely happens for certain things. Like, I'm trying to pick up some more projects. I'm really interested in a lot of video work now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we just invested in a camera, 4K, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's a deep hole. it's another world, just like music. So
it's like when you first start looking at guitar pedals and then you realize
that was a big mistake.
Oh yeah, terrible mistake.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, just staying on the grind really. I do a lot of wedding band stuff.
Okay. How is that, by the way?
Oh, it's fun, man. I'm pretty sure I'm desensitized.
What do you mean desensitized?
I mean, people usually cry when you make Now Kiss the Bride or stuff. I'm here like, where's the food? Like, can we eat now? Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fun gig. It's
Yeah.
it.
I suppose it pays well and all that. And I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah, and
people
you get-
appreciate it. I'm sure.
You get to meet really cool musicians too. They're all really talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do a lot of contract work still with like studios or just freelance.
Okay.
Really,
And where do you work out of mostly?
either like Orb recording
Cool.
studios. Most recently, a buddy of mine is like Promised Land Studios, and
Cool.
a lot of like freelance work too, like vocal coaching for certain artists, or other than coaching, arranging background vocals.
Oh, cool.
I really like doing that.
That's awesome. So vocal coaching. What got you into that?
What got me involved? Well, it's funny. Most of the students in coaching that I've been doing lately is from the contract work. Like it started with Orb.
Okay.
Basically, if people don't, let's do essentially vocal coaching is just like kind of pointing out maybe little tips or tricks, or maybe a different way to sing a certain melody for a line or something like that for a certain artist. It's just like another pair of ears. Most of the time, maybe that artist has never been trained before.
Okay, so so you tell them things like if everyone can see the veins in your neck, you're probably doing something wrong.
Kind of like that, yeah. Or maybe I want to see the veins in your neck for this kind of like emotion, right?
Yeah.
Because I went to school for this, for vocal.
Oh, where'd you go to school?
It's in Boston. It's called Berklee College of Music.
Okay. What was that like? Because I think, I think that's a music school that a lot of people know of, and I think people have an idea of it. I know before I met someone like you, I had the idea that it would go there, and that's where musicians kind of get burnt out on the whole thing, and it's just it's a very competitive type of situation. I had a friend who went there for drums.
Okay.
And like the first year, he was very much like, "Man, this is hard," and then he was fine. And then he was fine. But now he's out in L.A. playing with some metal band, I think.
Oh, that's
He's
cool.
doing well. They're touring, so yeah, I don't know. What was it like for you?
Well, you know what? You always get like mixed reactions for the people who have went or people who have know about that school, I guess. I enjoyed it, man. What it really did, it helped me realize that I had a lot of work to do. I guess you're kind of like your friend. Like, I got there and no, it's true.
Did you like strut into your first class just like, look at me?
Dude, I went into my first class. Let me tell you a little story. I went in my first class. I looked the teacher. What's really cool about that school actually is most of the faculty there, if not they've already been in the music business. Most of them are still currently in now in the music business. Like they're engineers or they're teachers that are on tour.
Oh, very cool.
So there was this one. I don't want to say names, but there was this one teacher. It was one of my first classes. I went in, and the first thing you do is they assess you like proficiency.
Oh no!
In front of the whole class, like a student.
Oh my god!
There's maybe 12 students in there, and I go up to the piano, the accompaniment. I put down my sheet of music down there.
What did you sing?
What did I sing? I think I sang a Michael Jackson tune.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. And then after I sang it, I looked straight at the my teacher's face, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I kid you not, man. He just looked at me in front of everybody else. He was like, What are you doing here?"
No.
Yeah, man. This was the first week.
No.
And then he didn't even stop there. He looked straight at the student next to me and goes, if he was auditioning for something, would you hire him? And she looks at him like, "Whoa, what are you doing right now?"
Oh my god.
He's like, "Answer me." And she goes, "No." And I went, "Oh my god."
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it was. So that school really got me. I practiced.
Because before, had you practiced much before that, or was
yeah, I did, but I didn't practice the way I did afterwards. It's really the kind of school, and there's definitely it's the people there. Everyone is really loves music, or not just music, just singing or playing the instrument. There's a lot of other stuff like engineering or stuff like that. But it's just a lot of information, a lot of connections, and I mean you get what you put in.
Yeah.
Like any other school.
Okay.
It's
So I mean, before that, did you have any like sort of tribulations, I guess, with music, or how did you start? How did you start singing, or playing guitar, or where did you start?
I guess I started like, I mean, maybe it's like cliche with everyone else, but
Sure. I mean, it could be.
my dad, like, no one in my family are musicians at all. They're actually in the medical field.
Really?
Yeah, they all look at me like, "Hey, you want to start nursing?" I'm like, no, like I think yesterday my
No. Dude.
yeah, my mom would be like, "Hey, so how's life? Yeah, cool. Hey, do you want to go in a nursing program?"
They're looking. So then
And they jokingly say it now, but I think there's still a little bit of truth in that joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because I mean, I guess ultimately, anybody who's pursuing anything in the arts, like their parents, they do want them to be okay, like financially and all that.
Sure.
So I'm sure it's coming from a good place, but
Oh yeah, I mean, both my parents are immigrants. Like,
yeah.
they're just they just want to see success. But
Oh,
they've
yeah.
definitely supported me
That's
a
good.
lot. But of course they'd be like, "Hey, you want to follow my footsteps?" They're both nurses, so
Yeah. Well, so where did they come? Where did they immigrate from?
the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So in the Philippines, like karaoke and stuff is like to go back to what you were asking is like
Yeah.
huge on singing
Mm-hmm.
or just anything like musical or anything creative, I guess, something like that. And I've been singing karaoke at every single Filipino party since I was like, I guess since I could speak.
Okay. Is that where
I guess
Michael
it started.
Jackson?
Oh, dude, Michael
started?
Jackson.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, there were three things my parents gave to me
Yeah.
that, as I was growing up, that was like the quintessence. So like, I was raised Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
so we have God, right? And no, I'm just gonna, here we go. So we have God, and then there were two other things that they kept. They just kept pushing. They enjoyed it. Michael Jackson and Bruce Lee. So as I'm growing up, as there was this was the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Like,
That's great.
so I
Yeah.
really like martial arts, and I really like
Mhm.
Michael Jackson, like dancing and singing and
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. But I mean, I've been singing most of my entire life, and then guitar playing just came around, like in high school, almost my like junior year.
Okay. Was it the standard way that most dudes
No,
get
it was
into it, where
not
they're just
standard
like,
at all.
oh, if I play this and sing at parties, then girls will notice me. and
No,
so I should.
it wasn't like that. I had a buddy. His name was Andrew Jeffries. Or his name is still Andrew Jeffries.
He's still alive.
Yeah, what am I talking about? And he, it's funny, during my, I think, junior year of high school, I became very interested in the music club that we had. It was a guitar club, and I would frequently go over there, and I started seeing people play guitar. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, so I started playing that a little bit more, and then he invited me. I didn't even know, like, Berkeley, going back, we're connecting all these stories,
Oh yeah.
that it even existed. And he asked me, he's like, hey, do you want to try this 1 week program over the summer? We became really close friends. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'm not doing anything. So
Yeah.
I went over with him to Boston for the 1 week. And that's when I realized, wow, I didn't know you could make a living with music.
Yeah.
Like, it really changed the way I view everything. Like, there's people from, the auditioning or all the teachers, and just the whole shebang was really cool. And then that was also the first time I realized I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's a good thing to realize. It's like, I feel like if you never realize that, you're not paying attention.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also realized, I was like, whoa, I need to really get a lot better in guitar, and I'm also going to audition with singing instead.
Yeah, that's the thing you've been doing for a long time. Well,
Yeah.
those kids that audition for guitar, I'm sure they're the ones who've been listening to like metal or like classical guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Or Stevie Ray Vaughan, and they can play everything note for note.
Yeah, there's a lot of guitar players there, but most I would say are, there are a lot of rock kids too, but yeah, man, I definitely am good that I went with vocal for that one.
Yeah.
That's what I really like to do.
Yeah,
so.
Singing's a big thing.
Yeah, man,
Cool.
I like to sing.
Well, and so now that's led you into doing a lot of recording and going into these different studios. So what are some of the things that you've done? Like, what's the strangest situation that you've had in the studio?
Strangest? Oh, man.
Like, because I was talking to a buddy of mine. I won't mention his name because that might people might figure out who we're talking about. But
if you say his name, they'll definitely figure out
who
you're talking about.
yeah. No, but he a friend of his was an engineer, and he his friend couldn't figure out how to fix this record for this band, and so he sent it to my friend who's another engineer, and he was just like, and he was playing it for me. He's like, dude, I don't know, it sounds like they're recording it at different tempos, and it's like this strange like zombie rock.
Oh, is that a new thing? Zombie rock?
I don't know what it was. But that was one of the strangest things I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
And he had to try to fix it, and I have no idea if he pulled it off. He's wonderful, so I'm sure he pulled it off. But anything like
challenge.
That? Yeah.
Something weird? Yeah, dude.
Or maybe like something like tough that you had to do in the studio, like all those stories of people doing takes over and over and over and over until they finally get it.
I guess the situation depends. I do have a story, this is more maybe a little bit more funny. So I was working for this client, arranging backgrounds, and for this one specifically, I was doing the background work too, because it's nice to find voices that blend well with other voices, just have a different feel and sound. So I was doing a take, and normally when you do background vocals, for me, I like to stack them. So I'll do like maybe a 4-part harmony. Okay. And stacking basically means I'll double that. Okay. Double each take. Okay. And so I did it, right? And I look up at the guy, because we're behind the wall, and I go, all right, what's next? And I'm looking up, and this dude's asleep, but not just asleep, he's standing up, asleep. And I went, hey man. And he goes, oh yeah, all right, let's do the harmonies. I was like, dude, I just did them. He's like, what? No, do it again. So I still want to take this gig. I'm like, yo, I want to impress this person, so I do it again. I look up again, this dude is asleep. That's probably one of the weirdest situations. And he asked me the same thing again and goes, all right, let's stack them. I'm like, I stack them? It's... Yeah, man. It was weird. That's professional, wild. Right? Professional.
Yeah, that's wild. Jesus. Oh, man. That's crazy. Hopefully that noise didn't come through. I don't know what that was.
Oh, if it did, it's just a little added...
yeah, that's a little added texture.
I think so.
Goodness. That's hard. Was there ever a time where something was really tough to pull off in the studio?
Oh, yeah. You want to hear a
or
tough
like
time?
Mentally trying?
Mentally trying? I had a client one time. I was brought in, and the way he did... I mean, I have nothing against people who, like... I mean, apparently Michael Jackson was the same way. Like, maybe he didn't know, like, specific theory, or, like, just, like, certain notes. Like, I want you to do, like, a 16th note, like, or whatever, like, all that kind of stuff. But this guy was a different level, man. He asked me, he's like, so, I kid you not, this happens. It's like, so, I mean, my song, it's, think of it like this, Miggy. It's blue. Right? It's blue. I'm trying to be. I have a straight face. I'm like, yo, okay. This is one of my first gigs for one of the studios, and he goes, yeah. Can we try orange?
What did you say?
I looked. I was like, okay. What am I gonna say?
Let's be more specific. Let's break that down.
Well, you know what's funny is. Usually you just say, yeah, now I'll probably be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But, this was one of the first, like, gigs I was being contracted, so I didn't want to, like, disappoint anyone. Right. So I went, okay. Apparently I pulled off orange, because the next take, he was like, yeah, that's it, man, you got it. That was orange.
So that's the kind of shit that you dealt with in the beginning?
Was
it hard doing the contracting work when you first started out after school?
No. I'm just like saying specific. Most of the time, it's actually really good. Awesome. These are just like specific things that sometimes I'll think about, and be like, wow, that happened.
Okay. So they just bring you in like a hired gun and.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Most of that, if you don't have a band, like a lot of solo artists, that's usually a lot of the work that I'll do. Like they don't have another background singer, so they're like, hey, can you come in and do
okay, so session work, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I've only done it once, but I had a blast doing it, because you can just play it and then the person will go, yeah, or no.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like, yeah, nah.
And you'll get paid regardless whether they keep you or not. So
that's true. Cool. They're bringing you in, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
That's very cool. Okay. So you've been working with these studios, and you've also been getting ready to put out your record.
Oh, yeah.
So the single "Pretty Stranger" is out, and there's a video up.
Yep.
Tell me about the song a little bit.
Pretty Stranger. So I wrote that.
Is there a story behind that?
There is. It's actually, if it's pretty straightforward. When you listen to the lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
most of the way I do songwriting, it's like not only is it a story, but like it can follow from the beginning to the end. A lot of
Mhm.
it isn't very ambiguous. I wrote this song while I was still in Somerville, Massachusetts,
Okay.
right before I left, and it's just the song's about seeing that person. Like, there's always that one person, whether you're at a party or like you're on the subway or the
Yeah.
train or whatever. Like you're minding your own business, and then there's always that. Usually, there's always that one person that just grabs your eye, and you just like,
Yep.
hey,
And then you
that
look
person's
over,
attractive.
and then you look over, and then you try to make it look like you're not looking over.
Oh yeah, you're trying
and
to
then-
look really cool, man. You're
Yeah,
like,
just puffing out the chest.
yeah, exactly right. But yeah. So I specifically wrote this song about the pretty stranger.
Yeah.
It starts off like the person walking into the
Mhm.
room, and then it just keeps going on. The music video kind of follows the
Oh,
way
yeah.
the story unfolds too. If you
Yeah, is it
Could-
based on a real event or
actually, it is not the whole bar.
Sure.
Not the music video. I gotta, make that a little bit more interesting than it was. The original was I was in Somerville,
Mhm.
and I would always go to this specific coffee shop. And for 2.5 months, I think, I would walk into the coffee shop, sit in the same seat, and there was this one girl that would sit around the same time on the adjacent seat across from me. And it's kind of like how, I guess, you know someone, but you don't really know them. Like,
Yeah.
you maybe walk down the street or you go to whatever and you see the same person. You don't know their name,
Right.
but you see them all the time. So
yeah.
it got to the
and
point
so you're
where...
like, it's coffee shop girl.
Yeah, it's coffee shop girl. It
Yeah.
got to the point, especially where you're like, yo, I'm seeing this coffee shop girl for a month and a half, and now I'm just like,
And now it's at that awkward stage where it's like,
I
think
don't-
I've waited
yeah,
too long.
I think I waited too long to tell you my name because now it'll be like weird. But yeah, it that's how it kind of started. Me writing, I started writing about the pretty stranger, and
Yeah. Did you go talk to her?
no, dude, I moved.
You didn't do it
No, she is
No.
now the mystery. Pretty strange. She's literally the pretty stranger
forever.
forever.
Oh man.
I kind of
you
don't
should've talked to her.
I kind of don't even remember what she looks like.
Yeah.
But hey, I got a song.
That's true. That's true. I can't tell you how many songs I've written about girls that I wish I would have talked to.
Oh, right. What's the word? Unrequited love?
Unrequited.
There you go.
Unrequited. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But then it's like, no, it's just people just reading too far into.
Oh, yeah, man.
But that's what it is.
I think I was like 19.
Oh, sure. And that's the age where it's like, oh yeah, you're just you're creating this like narrative for yourself, and you have your kids' names picked out and all this stuff.
Yeah, man.
Or not even
what,
that.
What do
maybe.
I know at 19? What do I know now?
Yeah, either that or you're just thinking like, I'll make her this for breakfast. Depends which way you're going with
Well, there you go, man. Pretty stranger.
Yeah.
This whole EP actually, or well, that's the single for the EP.
Yeah.
It'll be coming out May 18th.
May 18th. Okay.
That's my birthday.
That is his birthday. Has everyone heard that? Hopefully we can get this out. Well, actually, I can bump it up in the queue. I think I can get it out before then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be smart. That'd be a good thing to do. I'll do it.
Huh.
I'll do it. I said it. It's gonna be out.
Oh yeah, it's here.
So, May 18th, everybody. So tell me about the process of making the record.
Okay.
Because I met you
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and I remember when I met you 3 years ago, you were telling me,
Hey, it's about to come out, man.
this record's about to be done.
I think I told everybody that. Everyone.
Yeah, I met you at House Wine.
Yeah.
Was it House Wine?
It was House. No. What? It was House Wine because then right
Yeah.
afterwards we went. I met you at Firehouse Lounge. You told me about that place too.
Yes. And then we all just started hanging out after that.
Yeah.
Slipped into the friend group, and
The golden age.
yeah, that was crazy.
Right.
That was a wild time.
That was a fun time.
That was a good time. But
Yeah. It definitely started 3 years ago on that EP
Yeah.
and told everyone it was going to come out.
What? Why the delay?
Why the delay? Because for all you other people who have no idea how to make it, or the process of making something, especially all by yourself,
Yeah.
it is a very well for your first time. I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Especially relatively expensive, especially for like doing it by yourself. This was a solo project for me. It was my first solo project. Originally it was going to be 12 songs for an album. I cut it down to 7. It's funny it took 3 years because most of the album was tracked in 6 days.
Wow.
Bass, drums, guitar, acoustic guitar, vocals, the meat and bones of the album was recorded in 6 days, along with pre-pro. So I sent just like
crazy.
a demo of all the songs, vocals, and just acoustic guitar track to 3 of my buddies who I went to school with, Lawrence Nemmons, Brady Clampett, and Derek Wong. That was like the band for the EP, and they came over. They flew down. We tracked with my buddy Robert Sewell. Back in the day when it was like in his house. And,
oh yeah.
In 6 days we did most of that.
That's
and then
crazy.
over along the course
It's
of
almost
the
like a punk rock record.
Oh no!
Did you ever do that like in college or just even before then? Not a punk rock record, but like where you have a weekend and like $500 and you're like, we're gonna make a record.
It's funny you say that. I've had we've had classes on recording some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's different because I guess it was mostly like, how do you say? I didn't have like a timeline. I mean, I didn't have a timeline for this. 3 years, but I guess it costs money, and it also costs. I guess a lot of time I was looking for players. After I got all of that done, I wanted horns, I wanted strings, I wanted there's 22 players, like individual players.
Oh wow.
In this EP, and I think every single one of them, they're all very talented. They're all very patient. I think they all thought this was
probably all very busy too, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah.
So then scheduling them, getting them to come in, and then getting them on the same page.
Yeah, scheduling and getting all on the same page. The tracking over the course, it was also like me trying to decide whether I want the parts to sound like this, I want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of time, and then there's all that other extra stuff, mixing, mastering.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. After the 3 years, if I were to do it again, obviously it wouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
A lot of experience and wisdom. Maybe I should do a Kickstarter or something next time.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's not a bad idea, because then it's like, oh my God, all these people need this record now.
I know, right?
So during that 3 years, did you ever did any self-doubt creep in, or
of course,
what was that like for you?
I was like,
I know I'd right now I'm in a situation where we recorded most of an EP a couple weeks ago, and now I have to just sit because I don't have any money, and I'm freaking out right now, and it's been 3 weeks.
It's like a combination of at the same time, the money and getting everyone involved at the same time, when they're free, timing, people get busy, juggling a lot of projects too, individual stuff. Obviously we have to do other stuff than gigging. You gotta do other stuff, and then it was a process, man. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the process. I enjoy the final product. I think really the initial thing is just saying, hey, this is done.
Yeah.
It's done. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, because you can fiddle with songs forever, because what is it? All works of art, they're never completed, they're just abandoned. That's a quote. And I think that's 100% true. You eventually have to give up.
You listen back to something that you finished too, and you'll be like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah. No, I know I have to put in a policy where because I'll go back and fix things, especially vocally. Because I'm like, oh, I hear something, I don't like it. There's a little inflection, I don't like it. But then I always have at least 2 other people there, and so it's a 3-person vote. And if I'm the only one who says that it needs to be fixed, then they're like, no.
I think I learned it was something in the moment too, just doing all this stuff. It's growth. We all grow.
So how did you grow making this record? Beyond did you did you grow as like a person at all? Trying to pull it off?
I mean, you're growing constantly. I'd like to hope so. Everyone's growing constantly, or trying to.
We can only hope, right?
I mean, as a person or musically, everything. 3 years may not sound a lot, but it in retrospect, it is. You know, emotions or values, what you value, or like the way you think changes. But it's nice to look back, because this is how I was feeling at the time, and obviously I did little tweaks from what I've learned, because there's definitely growth. I'm super proud of how it came out, though. You grow as a person. You learn a lot of things. Like, for example, I don't want to do 3 years again. Like, I know what to cut out, what to what you really don't need, or what you don't have to really pay for. You can, so. Yeah, man, it's a good, the journey, right?
Yeah.
The journey is the fun part.
Oh, I totally agree. No. What was it like making the music video?
Oh, that was fun.
Because, I mean, you were an actor in it, essentially.
Oh, yeah, right.
You played you. And it was at Swan Dive downtown in Austin here.
That music video, my buddy Dylan O'Neill and...
I know Dylan.
Yeah. And Chris Lowry.
That's right.
We Work Weekends. Shout out. They just moved. Well, they moved not too long ago. They're now in LA. Yeah, man, I was really proud and really, really happy with the product. They're very professional. I called him up. I knew that I was following him on Instagram, and I saw all the other stuff that he's been doing, and I really liked this point of view. And yeah, we got together and we planned out the stuff. We actually shot that, I think, in 3 days.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And then, he edited and all that other stuff.
Sure, which is probably the longest part of the whole thing, just getting it all.
Well, the thing is, he probably could have gotten it to me around really fast. It was just like, I paid him like a deposit, and I had to pay him again afterwards for him to get the video back to me. So he's not going to give me that, like, hey, man, I finished it.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to you just like, I'll give you the money. Don't worry about it. I'm good for it. I'm good for it, man.
Yeah. But it was awesome. I really liked it. It followed the song pretty by verbatim. I had a lot of my friends
I saw
cameos in there.
Great.
It was like it's a lot of friends and family.
Definitely saw the Michael Jackson influence too with some of the dancing parts.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted to do that.
No, it's great, like, because there's that part where the light's shining on you in the dark, right?
Yeah,
and I was just like,
that was
okay,
so much fun. I looked at him, I was like, hey, can we get a shot of like my shoes and me twirling around?
Yeah.
And there is this one shot where I put my hand pretty near my crotch, and I do like a pump. Like Michael Jackson. Yeah. Can we do that? He's like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do. Let's just do it. I'm like, okay.
That's awesome. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like that was a good experience, and the product turned out great.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. I love.
And that's up on YouTube, right? So if people want to look it up.
Yeah, y'all should subscribe. My YouTube page. I'm gonna start doing a lot more content too. Especially now that I'm doing a lot more video work, or getting into it a lot more.
Yeah. Well, you have some up already on that you recorded at Orb, right?
Some live studio vids. I did one at Promised Land not too long ago. Yeah. Before I did a gig in Boston.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, then you have one, because I think I saw the one that has Ruby Jane in it, right? She plays with you.
Oh yeah. That song's called After Meeting You. So most of all those songs will be on the EP. It'll sound a little different because that was played live, but
cool.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, man. All the songs are very, very uniquely different.
Yeah.
It'll start off. You hear if you've listened to it, the single is like a very pop, Pretty Stranger, and then the next track is actually like straight up R&B, like
cool,
old school.
That's awesome.
R&B, and then to like a Don McLean singer-songwriter song right afterwards.
Awesome.
And then a hip hop track.
Interesting.
I'll do a little rap.
That's awesson. Well, yeah, because you used to play with Magna Carta some, right?
Yeah.
Which is
really
funny.
Cool. Well, that track specifically actually has Megs. As a little feature.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Definitely different than the other tracks. I'm proud of all of them, man. I'll go from R&B, hip hop, like pop, and then the last song of the track, which is called Never Hold Back, is just straight up me and an electric guitar.
Cool.
Kind of like Everything else is like so like the production.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, I was like, all right, I'm done with this production. Let's just raw.
Well, yeah, you got to have that song on a record. I
Yeah.
feel like if you don't have it,
It's also 6
vulnerable.
minutes long, I think.
Oh, yeah?
That's why it's the
Wow.
last song in the track. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if you get that far.
I'm sure people will. So you've worked with Magna Carta and Ruby Jane, and all these other people, doing session work. How is that? Like, how do you do you find artistic fulfillment in that just as much as doing your own stuff, or
Oh, yeah, man. I
is
just
it like a
like
means to get you to do your own stuff?
I think in retrospect, I for all musicians, or I like to think that's how we all think. Yeah, I speak for all musicians.
You are the voice of all musicians.
No way, dude. Yeah. Well, I just like to think we all enjoy playing music. For me personally, I not only do I enjoy being in the studio or arranging, or not just doing that. I like the live stuff. I like writing. I kind of like putting my hand on every little piece, but I just enjoy different kinds of genres. It's not that it gets boring per se to just stick to one thing,
Right.
but it's just cool. There's so much different kinds of styles, and you can experience different things. Like if I want to go do salsa dancing, I don't want to listen to a rock tune.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
So it's
That might be awkward.
it could be something new. Maybe we created something new, and then but it's just fun playing different situations, different experiences, and then you just absorb it, and then it comes out in whatever you do too. It's just it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
At least I find it fun.
Yeah. No. I'm always curious because some people I know they live for adding to tunes. Some people they live for writing tunes. And
Like a
sometimes
specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because some people it just takes them a while, and then they figure out this is what I'm good at. I'm good at hearing a song and figuring out, okay, this part's gonna make it really good.
Oh yeah.
And
I
so
wish
I
I
was
could
just
have that a lot better.
it'd be great. No, because that's an incredible thing to do, especially working in a studio live too. Yeah. Because then
man.
you can get all the sideman work, which is great.
It's all that experience, and you gain wisdom, and then obviously we all specialize in something. Like I take pride in the way singing in general, but doing all these other things.
Yeah.
Especially
Which,
nowadays.
by the way, I don't know if people know this, but you can cover Jeff Buckley.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. That was fun.
That was the craziest thing I'd ever heard.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
That's great.
Oh goodness. You did. No. I'm gonna say Corpus Christi.
I did Corpus Christi Carol.
Yeah.
I did.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's a fun song. I did. We all kind of did Hallelujah. This is with Ruby and the Reckless. Dude, that album.
It's
man,
so
is just
good.
So good. Yeah, he has a high voice.
It's
so
crazy.
I think it worked well.
Well, and it's true. Is it true that he was never trained or anything? He just did it?
I think he. Well, I mean, I guess
That could just be part of the mythos.
No, it's not a part of the myth. I mean, he did. I guess training. Did he go to Juilliard and all that? Did he? Was he there was definitely a little bit of training and some feel. Mostly feel. I mean, if you see some of the stuff he does, it's hardcore stuff. I also had to play guitar, with some of the things, and I was like, what are these chords going on?
Yeah.
What is this? What's going on? I thought it was gonna be a breeze, but it was a lot harder than I thought. It's great. It was
I feel like somebody like him, or if the first time you start to try to cover Beatles tunes, because everybody starts when they're just learning guitar, and you're like, what the fuck is this? This doesn't make any sense. These chords, what are they?
brother.
What's the 7 and what's the hashtag in
Oh
there?
yeah, it's there's an A and then there's a 5 next to it.
What is that?
I'm gonna Google this.
Yep. And then you see a hand in some shape that you didn't think was possible, and you go, wait, what?
Oh yeah, man. Those
and
were
your
the
friend
days.
who's been playing guitar is like, dude, you're voicing that all wrong.
Oh yeah, right. those were the days, dude. I had tab.
Tab, tab crawler.
Oh yeah, back. Yeah. Oh man, that's how I learned most. I think my first song that I learned how to play on the guitar was a Reliant K song.
Oh no! Wait, so did you start with that, the whole Christian rock thing?
No, I think that's
Interesting.
just one of the first songs that I learned. Because the tab was so easy. I was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the 1, there's the 5, there's the
I don't think I
6,
could read tab
there's-
anymore now.
Yeah.
Actually, if I looked at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Tabs, yeah. I got to be honest, sometimes I still, no, I look for chord charts, especially on some of the stranger stuff out there.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Whatever
I do
works.
that all the time. So there's a question that I always ask everybody, and I'm going to ask you, and we're going to see where it goes.
Okay.
Why do you write songs?
Why?
Yeah. And then I'll dovetail on why do you play music? You can take them in any order you want.
Oh, I can answer both, man. It's self-expression. It just feels good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
It's I guess everyone in this world is always like trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
What am I doing here, or just like the meaning of it all. It's such a big, we're getting philosophical now.
It's okay.
But writing songs or singing or just music, for me, it's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, so when you say it gets like self-expression out there, so do you mean in the sense that it lets you say things that maybe you can't really get across with words, or it's just...
Oh, yeah, right. Man, I should have said that, like, right when something happened.
Yeah.
Like, then you think about it 12 hours. Well, there's songs like that I write. There's songs that, it doesn't necessarily have to happen, like, something with me. I could just think of a subject and write. I think just writing in general is just fun, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. And you're right, there's always a little bit of you, whether you like it or not. Like, maybe something personal that comes through. So, yeah, I would agree that it's, like, to express something that you don't normally... Yeah, I mean, you don't see me walking down the halls, like, in the music video and just thrusting the air. Like, it's just... That's just something fun to do on the side. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just to let it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's something we haven't really talked about that much on this podcast, but I mean, there is that when you're playing music and writing and, like, especially performing, there is that, like, moment where it's, like, of relief, where you're just, like, unleashing... It feels like you're unleashing everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, like, you're giving everything to the audience, and they're giving it back to you, and it's, like, that wonderful kind of cyclone that happens.
Oh, it's so true, dude. Playing music live is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. It's great. You're right, like, feeding off energies, things happening and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
You let it happen.
That stuff's fun.
As
as long as you trust the people you're playing with, that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you don't trust them and you're like, all right, let's see what's going to happen today. That was not so good. Keep a straight face, man. They're paying you.
Yep. Yeah,
They won't know. Oh,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah. Oh, that was my fault. Oh no, that's what it was.
Why am I thinking all these things while I'm playing?
That's probably why we're messing up.
Yeah, right? Oh,
Because
man.
I have an inner dialogue with myself.
It's live, whatever. They're all different animals, and they're all things that, give back in a different way. Man, I wonder how many times I've said fun so far in this recording. It's fun.
Oh, it is. It's 100% fun. 'Cause I mean,
But it's not just as fun. It's also hard work and all that other stuff. I want to have a conversation
What do you mean?
with this. Like,
tell me what you mean by hard work.
I
'Cause
guess-
I guess we have, like, a lot of people, because all those. I mean, at this point they're redundant. All those memes that are like, you should pay the musicians
Memes.
because it takes,
Oh, yeah.
like, countless hours and money for them to actually get there and perform. But there are people who think that it's just people getting up on a stage, drinking some beer, and
Oh yeah, man.
playing
Whatever
songs.
works.
But-
I think, just for me, like, personally, I love whether you give the song out for free or whether you're just like you're charging a lot of people, whether you're streaming, whether you're doing any of this kind of stuff. I guess it's just the way you look at it or how you're trying to go through it with music as a medium. I don't think there is a right or wrong way, depending on what you want. Now, if you
Yeah.
want to make, like, money
Yeah.
Like if you want to do, I guess if what you want to do is, I want to be in the music business. I want to be like there's
Say it
people
again,
who'll be
in
like,
the music business.
I want to be in the music business. Like there's people who'll come up to me like, yo man, I want to be like Justin Timberlake. How does it be to be like Justin Timberlake? I'll be like, why are you asking me, man? I'm not Justin Timberlake. Like, do you see me? Like,
Yeah.
but it's like, if you want to do something like that, there's definitely things. For example, if you want to be in the business, it's a business. You gotta do. You gotta sacrifice a lot of things. You gotta do a lot of things you don't want to do.
Sure.
I mean, if that's how you want to roll, that's cool too. There's people who don't want to like, or what's it, quote unquote, I don't want to sell out. I just want to do music.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it away for free. That's how it is. Yeah, cool. Do that too. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing any of that stuff.
No.
Now, if it gets to the point where it's like, why am I not making money, or why am I not getting this, or why am I not getting that? Maybe you should just like reflect to yourself and ask yourself, like, what do I really want to do with this?
Yeah.
And then go forward with it. And I mean, if you fail or if you succeed, at least you tried.
Yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a balance that is hard to sort of reach, because I mean, you know, you're right. You can take it where it's like, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to put out exactly what I want to put out.
Yeah.
And that's like personal satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Or then there's the opposite where it's like, okay, what's going to make it so that I can live off this?
Yeah.
But, you know, balancing that is really hard. I don't know if, I mean, maybe you know more people who pull that off, but I don't know.
I mean,
I know people who are doing music that maybe isn't stuff that they would write if they could do anything they wanted to, but they like it.
Yeah.
And so they go with it.
It's, I mean, yeah, maybe this can be like a whole other, like, we could talk about this for a long time. I mean, for example, there's people who are songwriters writing songs for other artists.
Yeah.
Like multiple songwriters. And, I mean, I can understand why people like bash on it too. Like, oh, there's no original artist too. I mean, but that takes a lot of hard work at the same time. And you should, in retrospect, seeing what they're trying to do. I memean, obviously it's just like, hey, I'm making songs. I'm trying to especially for this market.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just what, you know, how you do it.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to be like avant-garde and stuff, you can do that too.
Yeah.
On the side, I guess it's just like, I mean, it's anything in this life, right?
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues.
Sure.
At the same
When
time.
you gotta make money too. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah, I gotta eat. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
No, dude, I
important.
can live off music.
Yeah.
I don't need food.
Man, I've known people who've done that, and like,
Hey, if it works, if you're alive, then whoa.
yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
but I mean, some of it, like, it's incredibly hard. Like, I had a friend of mine, he was living in like a storage unit for a while, just playing shows, and then
The lifer.
yeah, and at different points, like living in his car, and I'm just like, dude, like, don't get me wrong, more power to you, but that's rough. Or
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know the band Lucero? You know, they're doing pretty well now. They're like, they'd play like Stubbs if they came here.
Yeah.
But like for like 10, 15 years, they toured 250 plus days a year, and they just lived in this van basically for the bulk of it. And then they all shared like this warehouse like in Memphis, Tennessee. And it was just like, that's intense.
Hey man, like I said, they probably loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, like, but they just kept doing it.
Yeah.
I get it's really just the individual, really, and then
Do you think you'd ever like to go in that direction? Like, just like,
Bohemian?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Just no.
No way, dude. I
Yeah?
could not do that. I mean, if I had to, I guess I would.
Yeah.
But
Have you done any touring?
touring, I've done like short tours. Never like a 250 show tour like that. No.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been on a super long tour.
What's the longest one you did?
Probably like a week.
Okay. All right. It's a little jaunt.
Yeah. I mean, you got to tour, right? That's what they say.
Sure. You have to. I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I think the longest I ever went out with a band was like 2.5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And that was,
Oh, it's hard.
it was stinky. That's the biggest thing I remember.
Mm-hmm.
We took my parents' Suburban, and I don't think it ever smelled right again. Because we were like 17, 18. It was just gnarly.
Hey.
I don't know if you had that experience or not, but
Eating.
eating,
I mean, I love food.
yeah.
Let's just make this podcast into how much Miggy loves food. No, dude, I'm kind of picky, but not really. Maybe.
Yeah. So you've done a lot on the road. Do you have any big projects coming up beyond the EP? Like any big shows, anything that we should know about?
I got a couple private gigs. I'm still playing out with other like Ruby, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm working on a lot new music that will not take 3 years.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
I find it hilarious. But it's funny because a lot of stuff happens. I know people who've taken like 5 years. I'm not trying to top that. It's like,
no,
let's do a competition. How long can you do it?
Yeah. Well, there's some people that talk about being stuck on like one song for years.
Yeah, man, that's horrible. Don't do that.
The guy from the Goo Goo Dolls had writer's block for like how long? A couple of years or something crazy like that. And then he wrote that Iris song for City of Angels that everyone sang all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I guess it's just different too for everyone else. But oh man, don't do that.
No.
I'll tell people just. I mean, you never know. And people throw away songs too before they even finish it. They're like, "This is a bad song," and I'll be like, "Well, how do you know? How do you know it's a bad song if you haven't even finished it?"
It's true. The bridge could save it. Bridge could save it, man.
And just finish it, and then you just keep going. But I mean, big projects. To me, big projects. I want to do a lot more YouTube content.
Cool.
Or just video content in general. Yeah, it's just there's constant grind. Whether you care or not, you could check it out. Like, it's like that's basically it. Just look it up and follow or subscribe.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys should definitely check it out because it's awesome stuff and it's real cool. The
Thank
single's
you,
great.
brother.
The video is great. I can't wait for this EP. You gonna have a release show for it?
No.
Miggy,
Well, not as of right now.
Miggy, you're killing me.
Well, there'll probably be
You're
one
killing
like
me.
a soft one. A soft release, right?
Okay, sure.
Soft release.
Sure, that's a thing. Okay.
Hey, no, we're gonna wait 3 years until for this release party. I'm trying to make it equal.
Yeah, but it'll be up in all the places that people can find music.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's gonna be digital distribution. It'll be all out on. Well, I mean that's what the distributor says.
Yeah.
On my birthday, right? Physical CDs are on their way. They're being made.
Cool.
And yeah, if you like it, I mean, you can buy it. It'll be on Spotify too. You can stream it. You can do whatever you want with it. Tell your friends. That would be probably the most thing I would want you to do.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, and I think I'm going to try to get a Spotify playlist up here for this podcast too. So hopefully we can get some of it up
I'll
on there
follow
too.
you.
Yeah. I haven't done it yet, but I will soon. So you want to play a little bit?
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's a good thing I have my stuff.
Let's do it.
Underneath the moonlight, everyone is outside. All I see is you. People pair up slowly. I am just hoping that somehow you notice me too. Now it's getting late and we're all alone. You smile as you approach. Maybe under this starry sky you'll stay. Instead of goodbye, you'll hold me tight through the night. Just stay, stay, stay. I wanna make this moment last. I want what all the others have. Now you're pulling me closer, so closer. But it's getting late and we're all alone. You smile as you approach. Maybe under this starry sky you'll stay. Instead of goodbye, you'll hold me tight just stay, 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 stay. I want to learn everything about you. I never want this night to end, but it's getting late and we're all alone. You smile as you approach me. Under this starry sky you stay, instead of goodbye you hold me tight. Through the night just stay, 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 stay. Underneath the moonlight, everyone is outside. All I see is you.
Well, there you go, folks. You're getting two sides of the record. You're getting something a little more upbeat and something a little more intimate. And I don't know if it's just today or where I'm at in my life, or maybe my emotional state given Guy Clark and all this other nonsense that's going on in my own personal life, which I won't bore you with, but that song and maybe just that sentiment of wanting somebody to stay and just sort of stick around and not leave is it's pretty powerful at the moment. So thanks everybody for listening. I wish I had a joke to finish this out because I'm just staring out my window right now trying to think of how to finish this, and I can't think of a good way to finish it at the moment beyond Miggy's an incredibly talented person, and of many of the people that I've met, I know for sure that he's going to do some pretty great things, and you guys should definitely be on the lookout for his work. So once again, it's Pretty Stranger. It's coming out the day that this is released. So find it on Spotify. Find him. If you want to be on this show or you want to talk about maybe some Miggy stuff, or, if you want to talk about Guy Clark or coffee or the pint of whiskey and honey ice cream that I just ate while listening back through this episode, feel free to send me a cover. Feel free to send me an email at isthereacoverpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for listening. Is there a cover? Dude, $5 is a lot of money. I could